Welcome to Techwire, a conversation about policy, technology, and government in California. My name is Christina Gagnier, and today we're broadcasting live from the Cloud Computing Forum in Sacramento, California. Cloud computing is a hot issue, and government is now just jumping into the cloud. Today, I'm joined by Ron Hughes, the Director of the Office of Technology Services. Ron, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Cloud computing is not a new issue, and it's not new to government either. Government has been working with it for a couple of years. Maybe you could talk a little bit about this forum today and how it sets the stage for this conversation about the cloud.
Sure. This forum has actually been a terrific opportunity for us to talk about cloud services. We got a fantastic turnout, much better than we had anticipated, which shows you there's a lot of interest in the topic.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity. We have speakers at the federal level that have actually implemented cloud services, so we've had the opportunity to talk to them about lessons learned, how they implemented it, what they would do differently if they implemented it again. You know, at the state level, we're just in the process of implementing cloud services, so this forum couldn't have been more timely.
And I hear that your agency has a request for information out looking for vendors to comment and provide feedback about providing cloud services. Could you share a little bit about that?
Sure. We are releasing an RFI next week, and what we're basically doing is taking all of our technical requirements for the cloud and releasing it to the vendors and having them comment on them. We obviously want to make sure that anything we put out there the vendors can meet. So we'll get their comments back, we'll revise our RFP, and hopefully release the RFP 4 to 6 weeks after we get their responses. So our target date is actually to have cloud services up and running by the end of the summer.
Oh wow, that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I know you've also been on some panels today. You had one this morning and you have one this afternoon concentrating on collaboration and shared services. Can you share a little bit about what that panel is going to be about? Sure.
So I think that the future of IT delivery in government is in shared services and collaboration. So cloud services is one obvious way that we can collaborate, that we can share services. And nobody can do it all. So we'll work with the cities and counties what they do well. Maybe they'll do for the state. What the state does well, maybe we'll do for the cities and counties. So, for example, we do a lot of mainframe processing. That's a great opportunity for collaboration. Maybe we can do some of the mainframe processing for the cities and counties. There are things the cities and counties do maybe better than we do. They could provide some of those services to us. So I think there's great opportunities for collaboration, and that's sort of what we're going to talk about this afternoon.
So our audience is a mix of people from local, state, and national government. What advice can you give for those that are thinking about jumping into using cloud services?
Figure out your requirements up front and make sure that you outline all of your requirements in your RFP. Figure out what the compliance issues are, figure out what the security issues are, and make sure that you've got all those covered. Make sure that you've got SLAs that require the vendor to meet certain standards and certain levels of availability, security, etc. And implement it in a phased approach over time. Don't try to do everything day one. For example, we're going to do infrastructure as a service because that's the easiest thing to provide day one. It's what we're getting the most demand for as well. We're also going to do some aspects of platform as a service. We're not going to do software as a service from day one. Eventually, we're going to do all those things, but I would say implement them in a phased approach over time.
And what do you see as the future of the cloud in government? Already applications, collaboration, things are happening that people probably would never have thought would happen with the government using cloud. So what's next?
Well, I think cloud services are going to fundamentally change the way we provide services in the state. It's going to be so much cheaper, so much more efficient. You're going to be able to provision resources so much faster and deprovision them as well. So it's going to allow you to handle peak workloads. It's going to allow you to deprovision when you no longer have those peak workloads. It's going to keep technology solutions current because we're always going to have the latest technology with cloud services. So I think there's all kinds of benefits. Everybody talks about cost, but cost is really just one component of it. The flexibility is what really, I think, brings the benefit to the state.
And how will this change the workforce in California, particularly for government? I mean, now that things are moving to the cloud, there might be skills or things that people aren't using now that they're going to have to learn. So how will that change how people operate in government?
It will certainly change some of the skill sets required. We get this comment fairly often where people are concerned about bringing in cloud services. But the reality is there's interfaces with our billing system that have to be built. There's interfaces with our service catalog that have to be built. There's interfaces with our portal. We're going to allow customers to self-provision these systems. All those interfaces are going to be built and supported by state employees. So I am not concerned at all about this reducing the number of state employees needed. It's, if anything, going to make them more important.
Well, Ron, thank you for joining me. It's always interesting to learn more about what your office is doing, and you guys are providing so much leadership on this issue. This forum and other conversations are a great example.
I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.